Hey FitFam, let's cut through the workout noise and get real about building muscle after 50. Let's dissect two heavyweight training protocol contenders to see which one is better at building muscle after the big 5-0. In the red corner, we have high intensity slow motion training, aka HIIT. And in the blue corner, we have blood flow restriction training, aka BFR. Ding ding. Just in case you don't know who I am, I'm Simon H, the naturally jacked 53-year-old, and I've been banging weights for well over 40 years. So in that time, I've done almost every training protocol known to man. Now it's my mission to help you build muscle after 50 and beyond in the most fruitful and safer manner. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to grade both of these training protocols in about 8 different categories, from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, using a bit of science and my own personal experience. But first, before we cover any of that, and before we kick off this major event, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly summarize each of the training protocols. First up, we have HIIT. HIIT is a revolutionary protocol that emphasizes short, intense sessions with 1 to 3 sets per muscle group, focusing on constant tension by avoiding rest during reps and lockout phases. The super slow lifting technique with each repetition takes 10 to 20 seconds, ensuring thorough muscle engagement and fatigue. This approach minimizes stress on the joints and tendons, making it safer than traditional training. The protocol includes 2 sessions per cycle, each with specific rep targets for the upper and lower body. Meeting or surpassing these targets results in either a weight increase for the next workout or more reps, providing a simple, effective, and consistently challenging regime. Blood flow restriction training, on the other hand, is a cutting-edge workout technique designed to amplify gains using controlled blood flow. By strategically applying a specialized band on each limb, it briefly restricts blood flow, creating a temporary state of oxygen deprivation in the muscles. This restriction of normal blood flow allows your muscles to experience swelling, fatigue, and oxygen depletion more quickly than traditional resistance training. This creates a hypoxic environment that stimulates the release of growth factors and increases recruitment of muscle fibers. The first class we're going to judge these on is mechanical tension and progressive overload. In case you don't know, mechanical tension and progressive overload addresses the foundational principles of hypertrophy. Mechanical tension involves putting muscles under resistance, creating microscopic damages that trigger growth. Progressive overload, on the other hand, emphasizes gradual increases in resistance over time, challenging muscles to adapt and grow stronger. These methods stimulate the activation of muscle fibers and recruit more motor units, leading to significant gains in muscle size and strength. Now we know this, let's see what high-intensity training has to offer. HIIT is a powerhouse for mechanical tension and progressive overload. With its focus on control, deliberate movements, and intensity, HIIT stimulates muscle fibers, creating optimal tension. The controlled nature allows for a systemic increase in resistance, ensuring progressive overload and continual muscle adaptations. I'm going to score HIIT a 9 out of 10. Blood flow restriction training. While effective for certain goals, it falls short in maximizing mechanical tension and progressive overload. The restricted blood flow may induce metabolic stress, which is that pump feeling, but it doesn't provide the sustained resistance needed for optimal muscle growth. Unlike traditional resistance training, BFR relies on lighter loads, limiting the potential for progressive overload. For robust and lasting muscle development, prioritizing workouts that emphasize mechanical tension and systemic progressive resistance remains key. So for that, I am going to score BFR a 6 out of 10. The next class that we're going to judge is joint friendliness. HIIT controls movements with slow directional changes is a much gentler approach on the joints, which is very important for muscle after 50. So for that, I'm going to score it a 8 out of 10. BFR Typically, the light loads used in BFR reduces joint stress, making it gentler and more joint friendly. But the repetition speed is much faster, which can cause problems for some. But for BFR, I'm going to score this an 8 out of 10. The third class that we're going to judge these heavyweight contenders on is building bone density. HIIT. The weight-bearing nature of resistance training contributes to bone density, which is essential for overall health and longevity as we age. So for this, I'm going to score HIIT an 8 out of 10. For BFR, limited weight loads does not provide as much bone building stimulus. So for BFR, I'm going to score this a lonely 5 out of 10. HIIT. The controlled set, exercise parameters and intensity makes it easier to manage volume and prevent overtraining. So for HIIT, I'm going to score this a whopping 9 out of 10. BFR requires careful monitoring, but because the muscles are not being broken down to the same extent as HIIT, the lighter loads may reduce the risk of overtraining. So I'm going to score this a 7.5 out of 10. The fifth category is optimized recovery. Really important as we age. As long as you're following the correct training protocol, adequate recovery is possible with proper workout planning. So I'm going to score HIIT 8 out of 10. Recovery is generally efficient due to lighter loads, and plus we're not breaking down the muscle as much as we do with traditional training. So I'm going to score BFR an 8.5 out of 10. The sixth class is reduce risk of injury. Controlled movements decrease injury risk in HIIT. So I'm going to score that an 8 out of 10. With BFR, light loads and controlled conditions reduce injury risk. So for BFR, I'm going to score this an 8 out of 10. And the final class is all about time management. How quickly can we get in and out of the gym? Believe it or not, both of these protocols can be knocked out the park in less than 20 minutes. Now with HIIT, you only need 2 sessions per week. Now with BFR, you could train up to 3 times per week. So I'm going to score both of these a whopping 8.5. No, fuck it. We're going to go 9 out of 10 for those. So here's a summary of the findings. In the battle of building muscle after 50, HIIT, slow motion training, emerges as the undisputed champion. With its focus on mechanical tension and progressive overload, it's the tried and true path to building muscle that stands the test of time. If you want to see a HIIT session or 2 in action, just check out these 2 videos. Otherwise, just use your index finger and press like and subscribe. And I will see you on the next round of building muscle well after the big 5-0. Boom!